Hi guys, and welcome to your daily tarot reading for Wednesday, the 28th of December 2022. Thanks for joining me. I want to use the Art of Life Tarot for today's reading. This is a really interesting deck, obviously, because each one of the cards has like a masterpiece on it, but there are little comments at the bottom as well, which I find really interesting. And because we have the comments at the bottom, I don't use reversals with this deck. So I'm just going to shuffle these and choose 3 cards to see what Wednesday is all about and what energy you'll be working with here on this day. So I hope you're having a great week so far. Let's see what the tarot wants you to know about Wednesday and what it has to offer you. Okay, so the first card is Strength. We've got Queen Elizabeth there. The Ten of Swords. Okay, the Crown, that's interesting. And the Ace of Wands. The Ancient of Days by William Blake. I went to university for like half a year in South Africa before I moved to the UK. And I did an English module. And we studied kind of Beowulf and William Blake. He was such a mystic and such an interesting kind of genuinely spiritual person. If you don't know much about William Blake, I would really recommend you look into him. He had such a unique perspective on things, and you could immediately tell this is someone who's had their own spiritual experience, awakening, rather than someone who's kind of regurgitating the rules of some sort of institution, you know. So I always found that really, really interesting. Okay, so looking at the regular tarot without the images, first and foremost, Strength is a major arcana card. It's very much about having the inner resources to meet what you need to be dealing with and to handle that very well. The Ten of Swords and the Ace of Wands are minor arcana cards, so these are temporary influences. And the Ten of Swords I usually describe as rock bottom. Its negativity is piled on to such an extent that you feel powerless to move. And then the Ace of Wands is the first card in the suit of Wands, which is fire. That is life purpose, passion. That is being lit up here in a spiritual way. And it's perfect, actually, this image, because it's like this person reaching down. And that's what the Ace of Wands often feels like. It's someone or something reaching down to you and saying, here's your purpose, here's your passion. It's really straightforward, it's really simple. It says this is what's going to be an important part of your life mission. If you pursue this path, it will bring you a lot of joy and fulfillment. So it's almost like these 2 cards are saying if things are less than ideal, you certainly have the means to deal with what's happening. And please do, because it's through that process of resolution or solving your own kind of issues or things that are coming your way, that the fire is lit up internally and it gives you a clearer understanding of the direction you want to go. So that is really powerful to me because it says that through difficulties, something joyful arises from within. So it's really important to kind of face things head on, and you're not at rock bottom, you're not stuck, you're incredibly fired up by being able to solve difficult issues. Okay. So let's see what it says for Strength here. So it's a portrait of Queen Elizabeth, the Armada portrait. He knows not his own strength that hath not met adversity. Okay, so that's talking exactly about that by Francis Bacon. So if everything's easy, obviously you're not going to realize how resilient and strong you truly are. Next, the Ten of Swords, the Crown. Oh, that's the detail. Okay, so we've got a queen and a king. That to me says, regardless of Ten of Swords, just from the images, it means that there's great potential for relationships, to meet an equal, and also to meet someone who can bring a lot of strength into your life, and a lot of new ideas that maybe crystallize something within you. It could even be someone you have a difficult conversation with. It brings up that fire. So relationships are really important and a big way of learning on this day. So I'm not even going to try and say the artist's name there. The little quote is, "Those things that hurt instruct." Okay, great, by Benjamin Franklin. Obviously, all of us would like to have as little pain in our lives as possible. Unfortunately, on this day, there may be some challenges that need to be dealt with. So maybe issues at work, or you get a letter in the mail that kind of demands something of you. Maybe there's a tough conversation that has to be had with a friend or a partner. The key thing is not to kind of duck and try and avoid it. If something is unpleasant or makes you uncomfortable, it's not permanent on this day. It's important to work through it. And in fact, that actually means that if you find yourself in a difficult position, that's the big kind of green light that you're moving closer to discovering your own life purpose. So please, if it's possible, and obviously, you judge how much you want to deal with and how much you don't. But these two cards are saying you can resolve problems that have been in your life for a long time. Things that are so challenging that you don't want to even look at them, you'll be able to look at them today. So finally, we do have the Ace of Wands, the first card in the suit of Wands, the Ancient of Days by William Blake. Whatever you can do, begin it. Boldness has genius, power, and magic in it. And that's good. Okay. So so here we're talking about the strength, and you're being instructed, and then you are being asked to be bold. So if you get a lot of resistance, if you have an idea, let's say, okay, I want to become a feng shui consultant. But the idea of that immediately raises the concern that, oh, my ultra-Orthodox religious family may not like me doing this. So maybe I don't want to rock the boat. I want to keep people happy. So maybe I should just put the feng shui aside and do something more conventional. The cards are saying that it's this boldness, those ideas that may not immediately work and seem difficult. Those are the ones that have genius, power, and magic in them. And that's why it's so important that you follow your inner kind of voice and you do things that are important to you, regardless of the negativity you can expect or the pushback that you're expecting from people. There's even a saying, like, if you tread on other people's toes, they're going to tread on yours. So a lot of people are very switched into that and say, oh, I don't want to do anything untoward or do anything that might upset anybody because it's more trouble than it's worth. But the cards are saying that those things, so if you get an idea that fires you up and immediately like the lid shuts down on it, your ego comes in and says, oh, no, don't do this. It's going to cause major drama with the parents or the children or the employer, whatever it may be. Those difficulties are going to instruct you even more and fire you up even more, and you certainly have the ability to handle it. So this is really being in your own corner and defending your truth and your passion. Not even defending it, but saying, this is what it is. If you don't like it, we can work through it. I'm available for that. But if you don't like it, then okay, I accept that. Okay, so number-wise, strength, I always count as the 8th card in the Major Arcana. Sometimes they switch it with the 11, but I prefer the placement of 8. So we've got 8 and 10 is 18, and 1 is 19. 1 and 9 is 10, and 10 reduces to 1 in numerology. 1 is the vibration of the pioneer, the boss, the person who invents, who leads, who performs, who does things on their own. So in the tarot, the number 1 is the magician. This is someone who listens to his higher self, to his inner guidance, his gut feelings. And he's bold about it. He says, I am here to make magic. So there is a certain boldness required, like either I'm a magician up on stage or I'm working on my own here. Other people may be watching from the sidelines. And he is able to create magic. So the numbers are underlining this point that it's you who creates the fire today. And don't let that be put out by negativity, other people. Work through it and you'll be fired up even more. It's interesting. It's like, you take a bonfire or any kind of fire really, and you give it a lot of air. It will get bigger and bigger and bigger if it has enough fuel. If you cut the air off, the fire is going to struggle and then go out. So it's your ideas that will feed this fire. It's not the challenges and the difficulties of other people. It's by working through those. Wow, okay, so I'm correcting myself. Your ideas are super important, but the negativity is something that you can transform like an alchemist and turn to feed your inner fire. So a little bit of conflict is actually a good thing for you, or someone not believing you or saying something unpleasant, that's going to fire you up even more. You know, it's like when someone says, oh no, you can't do this, and the response is, well, actually I can. I'm going to show you that I can. So it's that kind of rebelliousness and like teenage, I'm going to prove you wrong kind of energy. Basically, the number one says, you're the pioneer, you're the boss, you're the one who's going to get this information and do something with it. So don't let yourself be distracted by negative circumstances. Face those and see your focus become even stronger. So that's what I get for you on this day. I hope you have a wonderful time. If you'd like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. On the front page, click on book your reading to audio reading with me. And if you like this video, then give it a thumbs up. Please hit subscribe and share the video online. Have an amazing day, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.